Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're here at Camberley for round 8 of their championship. Today it is our first time here in a kz2, so we're going to be trying out and seeing how we get on today. Now there's a couple things holding us back today. One, because we signed on late, we have to start from the back of the grid, which is only 6th place. 2, we've got the wrong set of wets, so if it's raining we'll be at a bit of a disadvantage. So currently it's about 7:40 in the morning. I'm just walking the track, so it's sort of like an oval, I'm not gonna lie, but it is a physical oval. Now the camera don't really do justice, but if you come through here and you come all up there, which is sort of blind, but you're going down that straight again, so it's quite a physical track. And doing this for, I think the final, I'm not sure how long the final is, I believe it's quite short, to be honest. I believe it's something like 10 minutes, so it should be quite easy, not easy, but more relaxed final. However, it still could be physical. Now, good news today, hopefully I've got my GoPro allowed on for today's racing, which will be really good, as it's my first race with the GoPro on. Obviously today's just experiment, to be honest. We were planning to go to Mansell, but we have to go there now as Mansell was cancelled. But yeah, so if you look down here, it's quite a fast sweeping right-hander into this left, which comes into this sort of chicane at the bottom of the track, which comes off to the straight. But it's quite a difficult corner. I've done this track in junior road tax many times. I've run around here quite a lot. I remember sending it down the inside here, a massive lunge for the win on the final corner, on the final lap. But yeah, so let's get into warm-up. Before going on track though, I do need to take my kart down to scrutineering just to check it over, make sure it's safe to run, just like everybody else. Now, unlike most tracks, they do it a bit old-fashioned here, and we've got to write down all our numbers on a bit of paper. So we passed scrutineering. All I had to change was the GoPro onto the front NASA panel, as apparently it's more secure there. I don't think so, but that's what they made me do. It's so dodgy.
Mate, it's going to come on.
No, it's not. So, into practice session 1, well, the only one. We have to do 3 laps. Otherwise we can't actually race. It's one of their rules. I'm not fully sure why, but that is one of the rules. So we're going to start out at the back, just taking it easy, as it is my first time here, and I'm the only driver here that's only been here, well, never. So I'm going to come out of the pit lane, and you're going to see I'm just what I've cut out, and the cart's completely stopped, which is not ideal, as I do need to complete 3 laps of this session, otherwise I can't even race. So I'm going to get out and pushing it, see if I can get power into it, and for some reason it's just not going. And in this session I actually had a wet box on, and I was wondering if it was because there wasn't enough air, but for some reason it wasn't that, and I'll do actually find out later what the issue was. So after the checker flag came out and all the karts crossed me, I could run across, and we're going to try and reattempt to push start again, see if we can get any power into it. And I did only have a couple chances to do this, obviously just to bring it back into the pits. For some reason still, there was absolutely no power. Now, ignoring the dodgy camera angle, I did find what was wrong with it, and the marshal, as you can see now, is about to push me, and hopefully we can get power this time. So I'm going to push him, and luckily, yeah, we've got power, which means we can get away and just pit this lap, and we'll have to see what we're doing, if we can even race. Now, if you look to the left, Nick Aitken also is going to join me in not knowing whether they're going to be able to complete today, as he crashed on lap 1. So we're both not sure whether we're going to be able to complete the rest of today, but we can only find out in the pit lane. And as you can see, the steward is actually pulling me over, and I think I'm in trouble.
The timekeeper tells me that you've not done 3 laps. your days out. You don't want to do that.
Spark plug came up.
Oh, shoot them, can it?
Cheers. So luckily me and Nick both had a second chance in an emergency practice session, which means we hopefully should be racing for the rest of the day, as long as we don't bin it. Obviously it's my first time at the track. I do want to try and learn some lines, try and improve, obviously because I'm going straight into heat 1 where I'll be starting at the back and seeing if I can make up any positions. So fast forward a bit, and as you can see Nick is to the left of us, and there's only 2 of us out for this practice, me and Nick. Green flag is going to be waved, the gate is going to be open, and we can go out for hopefully our first proper lap. We've made it further than the first session, and let's see what we can do in this session. So due to this track being sort of, I can't really describe it, it's not on a Air Force base like some of the tracks that aren't used much, but this track isn't really used much. It's normally once or twice a month, if that. So it does get very dusty, which is also why we're running the wet box in the first practice session. But it's also, as you can see, very sliding and all over the place. So it can make it a bit difficult, especially on these first laps, and can always make this surface a lot harder than a track like Whittle Mill, where there's testing all days of the week. Now coming down the straight, it's quite a short straight, especially for a KZ track. We're going to go into turn 2 here, and you're going to see I lock up and I'm going straight on into the wall, which is not like any other track where it's a tyre barrier, going straight into this muddy sort of wall. So that's really not ideal. We did complete enough laps to actually race, although I think I did only complete 2. They did let me race, so that's good. Trying to push the car out was a bit of a challenge, especially when it was very muddy and grassy. Did get it going, did get it out. Now I did have to get the challenge of getting it going and running it. So pushing the pedal, and we have got now power, and we can actually bring the car back to the pit lane this time without the assistance of a marshal. Yeah.
It's a bastard, isn't it?
Just locked up.
Nothing.
Oh.
Didn't do any damage?
No, I don't think so. With practice done, not really successful, it was time to start practice heat 1, I should say. I'll be starting in 5th place. Obviously only 6 people on the grid, so we'll see what we can do. It is random grids, it's meant to be. However, unfortunately, I'm going to have to start from the back for all 3 of the heats. One I'll be starting 6th and the other 2 5th. As you can see, someone's filming in the background, just showing the attention these kz2s do really get to really anyone. Now green flag is being waved, and we can go out for our 2 formation laps before properly driving. And we obviously don't want to do the same mistake as last time. All these drivers in front of me, they're experienced here. Right in front of me, the number 65 is Rishi Smith, who is, I believe, a 4-time champion. And in front of him, Steve Maidenhead, I should say, who is one of the workers at the track. Not as experienced as the others, but again, more experienced than me at this track. And in front of him, I believe, is Sam Fowles, who is, I believe, a 6-time champion at this track. So spent a lot of his life here. And in front of him is another driver who is a couple-time champion as well. All 4 of them very fast. We'll see what we can do against them. Behind me, of course, as well, is Nick Aitken. Have raced him at King Bolton. I believe we beat him at the last round. Well, I did retire, but it was a very close one. As you can see, Rishi Smith's on the Kart Republic as well. So matching, just with me on the different coloured custom livery. But we're going to be going up to the start line. It's a very short track. It's about a 22-second lap time, where places like Wigan would be a 46-second lap time. So almost half, over half I should say. Beside me is the BPR car of Nick Aitken, going to be pulling up to the grid, 5th place. Now the lights here were really hard to see, and I didn't even know the lights. I forgot about the lights. But if you can just see above the Sodi, to the left of the Sodi, you can see the lights, and they're just going to go out in a second. So we're going to get 5 red lights, and it's the lights out, and away we go. Me and Nick getting a bit of a worse start. I'm going to go jump ahead of Steve, and we're going to go down the inside of Rishi Smits, but we're going to just bang wheels as he went a bit wide into turn 1, I believe locking up. But we can see what we can do against him, a 4-time champion round here. And just in front of him, obviously, Nick Aitken. We're going to see really what happens here, because it could be a race between us three. The other two in front, Sam and the other CRG, I'm not even fully aware of his name, but both sort of got away, so it could be a fight for third here. And you're going to see Nick sort of pull away from us as Rishi Smits goes wide. We're going to take advantage of that, go around the outside of 4-time champion at this track. I believe even more than 4-time, but I'm not fully aware. I've not done full research into Camberley's timings. Now fast forward a bit of the race, because it was sort of a boring one, just sitting around, and you can see Nick Aitken join the club as he goes wide, spreads a lot of leads onto the track, and it's going to allow me straight onto his rear bumper. And we're going to go back into the final corner here, and we're going to sort of just plan a move. We're going to try and take it a bit of a different line, try and get a better speed on the straight, but it didn't really work. Now, he did seem very fast through this turn 2 here, and I sort of feel like I was messing up the gears, but we'll see what we can do there. But again, into the final corner again, and we're going to have a brave lunge up the inside, just tap wheels. We're going to go side by side down the straight. He's just got a bit more top end, and he's going to sort of pull away. We're going to try and play it smart. We're going to try and back off, as we got Rishi Smits right behind us as well. We've got to be smart about this. We can't risk losing both positions. So we're going to see what we can do. Nick has pulled a bit from us, but we seem to gain a lot through those couple corners here, and we can see if we can actually catch back up to him in these final couple of laps of this race. Now through sector 2 we've caught up quite a lot, almost touching his rear bumper, about a car length off him, and again we're going to go for another lunge. It doesn't seem to really work here, but we're going to go again side by side, and again he's still just got bit more speed than me, and Rishi Switch is now going to join our dogfight, and he's going to go around the outside, showing that he is the 4-time champion. He really is. And Nick Aitken's going to go a bit wide. We're going to take advantage of that and go through like Rishi Smits, and we're going to see if we can hold on to the champion round here, see really how good we get on against him. Now I did really mess up those gears, and really that was the end of the race for us. Checker flag came out a couple of laps later, and that was that heat over.
Good driving, man.
Yeah, you too. Physical, isn't it?
I took one expedition across grass. Did you see it?
Yeah. How old are you? What's the race car? And what's
So far the £300 GoPro has stayed on. This is really all for you guys. Footage is still alive. As you can see, Steve's Sodi Kart KZ is alongside us. Thanks for sharing the awning with us. Now unfortunately we didn't even get any videos for Heat 2, but we did have to retire. We did have a really good race up into P3, and then my wheel almost fell off.
Still raining. Still raining.
So for Heat 3, we wasn't sure whether it was going to absolutely pour down just before, but we didn't really have a choice. We did have to go down on slicks and join the rest of the grid, as there was only a couple minutes before we were going out. Unlike British champs though, there was no gate close time, so we can really get down here even 30 seconds before. But like the rest of the grid, we were on slicks, which meant if it poured down, we'd all be in danger. It'd be like driving on ice in 50 horsepower go-karts. Right, so the final heat before the final, green flag is out. Time to start in 5th place again. Obviously you didn't see the P6 start. It was actually a really good race. We got up to 3rd place, overtook Rishi, overtook Nick, and we were actually pulling. We were sort of gaining on 2nd and 1st, so it was a really positive race until I started feeling an issue with my wheel, and luckily I did actually pit. Now I did almost carry on, and if I did, it wouldn't have ended well. But joining onto the grid now, starting again in 5th. In front of us is Rishi, I believe, so we're going to see if we can sort of get in front of him before the start, see what we can do with that gained confidence after heat 2. So green flag, well, we've got the permission to start, and it's going to be lights out, and away we go. We're going to go down the inside of Nick straight away, and Rishi's just going to get stuck behind Steve, and we're going to give him a little tap, quite a big tap actually, as we're coming through the S's, the quite long S's actually. But we're going to see if we can keep up with Lee's lot, as we just go a bit wide due to the rain. There's not much grip, and honestly everyone's sort of all over the place, still learning the track, as it was raining, which means the track is going to be a bit dodgy, and you're going to hear me lock up quite a lot. Now coming into the final corner, we're going to get a surprise, as Sam is just on the inside. Not sure what happened there. He must have had a collision. I'm going to be right on the rear bumper of him. But as you're going to see, the 6-time champion round here, he's going to show his champion skills. And look how much he pulls away. Now Sam is on an R2, but enough of the excuses really. He is showing quite well, very strong pace, as look how much he's already pulled from me, and Rishi, to be fair. Both of them have obviously really pulled from me. Obviously it's my first time and I'm still learning. Here I'm dropping down 3 gears where I should be dropping down 2, and not going up any gears there, so I can sort of carry more speed. But obviously it's still a lot of learning, and you're going to see they are pulling away from me quite a lot now, but we can sort of just hang in, sort of go for 4th place. We still got a fight with Nick, but I do believe we have pulled away from a quite comfortable gap for now. Now fast forward to the final lap of the race. You can't really see Sam anymore, you can't really see Rishi anymore, but in front of me, I'm not fully sure who that is. I believe that is the back marker of Nick Aitken, which, well, I believe he should have better pace than that. I'm not sure if he's got an issue, as we're going to be right on his rear bumper as we come across the line, really catching up to him now. And you're going to see we almost did lap him, which was quite surprising. But that heat, we finished 4th.
That one fell apart for me.
That weather's deceiving, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the kart was all ready for the final now, and we're going to be starting in 6th place. Due to the DNF in Heat 2, for some reason I got 0 points. Although Rishi did also DNF literally the lap after me. So I'm not sure why he's going to be starting in 2nd and I'm going to be starting in 6th. But we can see what we do from here. and just have a bit of fun. So as much as I'd rather be starting on pole, it is more relaxing starting in 6th. There's there's nothing really on me to try and get a good result, and I can sort of just relax on this outlap without having to worry about anyone behind me, which means I can properly bed in the brakes and the tyres, ready for the final of the day. Right, so coming up to the grid now, in front of us is Nick Aitken, and in front of him is Rishi Smith. To the right is Steve Maidenhead, so we can see what we can do at the start, try and get in front of them, maybe try and fight for a third. Be really nice, but that'll be very hard, obviously. Now looking at the times, I'm only about 3 tenths off the winner's pace, so I think definitely in the future that could definitely easily be found. If you do want to see that, make sure to like, subscribe and comment that you want to see that in the future videos. So Flagman's going to give the sign to start. Can't even see the lights, they're so small, but it's going to be lights out and away we go now. We're going to get in front of Steve, we're going to get in front of Nick, and coming into turn 1, you're just going to see me lock up, go a bit wide due to cold brakes, even though I was saying I could sort of warm up the brakes a bit better. But we're going to see what we can do now. This is the top 3, it's pulled away a lot, screeching through the second penultimate corner, and we sort of held our ground. Obviously they did get a bit away after my lock up on turn 1, but it's a quite a short final, to be honest. 8 minutes, only a minute longer than the heat, so 2 laps, 3 laps longer than the heats, but we can see what we can do. Obviously, again, no expectations. Rishi Smith's not far in front of us. Obviously, we did have the pace in Heat 2 and Heat 1 to beat him, and we were actually faster than him in Heat 1 and Heat 2. But we can really just try and hunt down the top 3. Obviously, no expectations. Again, all 3 of these lot have been racing here for over 6 years, so very experienced around this track. And not just that, they've only really raced here. I don't think they've been to many other tracks, which means they can sort of be not one-track wonders, but they can learn the track better without having to work around different tracks and different surfaces, and they can really just work on this setup, work on the lines, work on all the surfaces, all the different conditions, and really know the track obviously much better than me. I think I've done 2 races in Rotax. Obviously a big difference to KZ. We do a completely different layout, and we've got no gears, so the lines of a Rotax is completely different. Did win. I was meant to have maybe a second win even. Unfortunately rain came down for the final, didn't even have the wet tyres. Won everything up until the final, didn't have wet tyres, didn't have the right wet tyres I should say, couldn't even go out for the final, lost all hope, so we didn't even start the final, but we did have a win the next round, which was good. But yeah, so we're focused on this race now, back to this race, and again Rishi Smith isn't too far in front. Now fast forwarding a bit, you're going to see Steve, we're about to lap him, coming through. Not really sure what you call this top section, but the S's, I guess, sort of shaped like an S. Then we're going to sort of have a look down, he's like a bit risky there, and he's going to pull over, just let me past, obviously being lapped. only a couple laps till the end. Now, if we fast forward a bit more, you're going to see just in front of us is Sam Fowles. Now, we've managed to catch up a lot. I believe he must have had an issue or something. He was going for the championship this round. Unfortunately, did just miss out by 2 points due to having, I'm not sure if this was an issue or what, but we seem to catch up to him quite a lot, which is a bit unusual. But checker flag's going to come out and we're just missing out on that third place. Maybe a couple more laps, as his pace was significantly worse in those final laps. We could have caught up to him and passed him and could have got a podium in our first race here at Camberley, but it is what it is. Obviously it's been quite a good day. We've had a lot of challenges, but we've worked with them, we've passed them, and yeah, overall it's been a decent day. So thank you all for watching. Next video should be on a new project, a brand new project. It's a lot different and hopefully more intriguing for you guys. So that's it from me. Thank you all for watching and goodbye.
All the world foreigners are out on their sticks.
Looks like I can piss down.
You survived the day, well done. What? Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Did it fall over and break your leg? I spoke to you soon. Well done, guys. Cheers. It's a good day.